matchup. Looks like he's actually thinking about it this time, though, Frodan.
Man, poor Seungjae. I think he's not really happy with how that one turned out.
Well, you know, he needs to slow down a little bit. He needs to really think out his turns. And
Yeah.
until he does that, you know, it's games like this can occur.
Which are you leaning towards here? Assuming he's playing pretty standard Undertaker Hunter.
I would play Hunter probably. I normally gravitate towards the cheaper Hunters, like the more aggressive Hunters, but I actually don't really like this matchup as much as I used to. I feel like you have to get a very good draw. Like you have to start with the War Axe, and the Armor Smiths are going to be super important. And if you don't get those, then you know, high main plus the weapon might just kill you. It's
Ooh, I like it. Messaoud keeping his high mains. Yeah. But, you know, he has such a slow start again. Just Haunted Creeper.
It is certainly a slow start, but, you know, he has that important high main. And look, he's got his highest damage cards in his hand already, which become very important against Hunter in a longer game. So probably it will be a longer game, but
true that.
He's prepared for it.
You're tempted to put out the Acolyte, aren't you? If you're the warrior.
Yeah, that. I mean, you could put out the Iron Beak, but I like the Acolyte here. This start is so slow, the Acolyte becomes a very good card here, I think.
Well, unfortunately for him, there's the perfect response. He's going to chop down this Acolyte.
Yeah.
And at least it's not damage to the face, so the Acolyte was like gaining health too.
Yeah, it was. And Seungjae, once again, making some faces at this, but I think that that's fine for it to happen like that, to be honest.
Seungjae reminds me of a comic book or cartoon character that I've seen before. Always with, you know, some of the faces that he makes.
Yeah. Would you owl this?
I like to save silence for mad scientists against Hunter, just because I feel like their traps are extremely disruptive against warrior. Freezing trap especially.
You know, something very long time ago Kit Kats taught me was, you know, against warrior, those traps are actually at a premium to recharge your bow because that's so much recurring damage. And so I definitely have to agree with you. That's a good way to play. I
also think that coining out Acolyte against the Haunted Creeper in scenarios like that often can lead to awkward scenarios where you have double Death Spite. So I think not planning and thinking out through the turns actually could have cost him there. Because you see Haunted Creeper, and you could have destroyed the first body and then answered whatever he threw out next with a Whirlwind effect and dropping the Acolyte the turn after. So I think if he thought about his turns and sequencing a little bit more thoroughly, I think he would have not been caught in this awkward situation like he is now.
Very good point, Frodan. Can't really argue with that.
All right. Well, I don't mind silencing the web spinner either.
Web spinner is so hit or miss. It's like if it gives you the Murloc killer, the crab.
True.
You're like, well, okay. Well, he's just going to kill it. I'm very excited to see what it'll be, though.
I don't know if I would have minded actually like using the first charge of Death Spite either.
Yeah. Okay, you actually got a young Dragonhawk. That's kind of inconsequential.
Well, it's a kill command activator.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
In fact, probably should sit in hand for that specifically. A lot of damage coming out of Messaoud here.
It's starting to get out of control. A lot of the decisions that have been made are starting to compound because, again, he doesn't have a Whirlwind effect unless he uses a second Death Spite here. Like, things are starting to get really messy here for Seungjae, where a lot of decisions have cost him. He's taking back in the seat because he's about to get reverse swept by Hunter.
It's something a lot of us have felt before. Kind of painful.
All right, let's. I think we can draw with. I guess you can use Kill Command first and then draw.
Sure, yeah.
Yep.
Just run right into that. I mean, obviously his board is going to be swept, so utilizing, you know, these minions as much as you can is great.
Oh man, yeah. Haunted Creeper won't die to the Death Spite, by the way. So plopping it down is pretty good. In fact, if you want to set up for a little bit of board contention so that Savannah High Main has better presence.
Yeah. You know, at some point, I do like people just turning on the hero power against Warrior. Like, against Warrior and Priest, I feel like if you don't do that at some point, you're doing yourself a great disservice. Like, you need the recurring damage against someone who's going to start doing armor every turn as well.
All right. Well, he does have ways to deal with one high main. You have just simply the Iron Beak Owl and Shield Slam. So if he can stall this out long enough, there is a way for Warrior to start turning it around.
Absolutely. He's gaining some health. He didn't lose any health that turn, so that's really important.
I think you can start whacking away.
I think I'd play this Fiery and go to face, to be honest. Like, I understand the Death Spite as well, but at this point, once again, he's at 15. This is still pretty low. He's used one shield block. I would want to be armoring quite a bit. But is this too greedy?
Well, also, I think you're right, because even if he got Gromosh next turn, he still wouldn't be able to kill, even if everything lived, right? So, definitely not an ideal situation, but one you got to come to terms with. I think I also like playing Death Spite before Fireworks on the off chance you need to pop Death Spite without doing anything else.
Sure. That's definitely a good point there. Okay, so he actually leaves himself with only the high main and kill command in hand, but next turn he could play both of them.
Oh man, is that a good draw? I can't tell right now. Because, I mean, I want to ideally try to go for some kind of bigger creature play. He goes for Brawl immediately.
If the Knife Juggler lives, this is kind of painful.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy. That's kind of painful. Like, I would have thought about that a bit longer. In fact, I was thinking about it. I'm just like, huh. Okay, so he's actually losing a lot of health here. Yeah, he has to use the Execute on this, I would say. But if he uses Execute, that second high main becomes pretty scary.
Execute gives you an armor up, but Cruel Taskmaster is actually the right play here. This is, again, a tough decision if Seungjae can sense it.
Yeah, the Cruel Taskmaster, especially based on the hand, is so much more powerful. The thing is, at 8 health, I'm like, oh, my God. In fact, oh, man, if he has, like, a cheap beast he draws into.
That's true.
He gets him to, like, 1 if he doesn't armor up.
Cruel Taskmaster also is a minion to fight back for the board to pop Execute. So I think you have to go for it.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
You just go back to work.
I think high main and hero power, and you just you're getting him so close to lethal.
There's no need to use kill command on this Cruel Taskmaster at all, or even to the face at the moment.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, I guess the Web Submitter just gives you another beast anyways if it dies, so that's actually fine.
Unless it gets silenced or stolen.
Yeah, not too likely.
In this case, not likely. Oh, man. That's pretty close to killing your opponent, too. Like, we forget that Hunter's has a lot of 13 health.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the Cruel Taskmaster's out of his hand, so he can't quite do it yet.
Is there any way to survive?
Okay, so you could proc Execute. That's 5, 6, 7. You can armor up. Based on the kill command in hand, I would say no.
Oh, man. That's quite unfortunate for Seungjae. I mean, this would be his last turn of the entire tournament. He's thinking hard. I see a young Frodan in math class when I look at Seungjae. I know that feel, bro. Oh, he's going to have to execute. And he realizes that damage on board alone.
Well, you can play.
Can kill him.
God, yeah, it's.
Like, Gromosh doesn't do anything. Fire Warx doesn't do anything because you're going to lose health. And he's going to hope his opponent doesn't have 1 damage.
Unfortunately,
but he's got it covered. And Lased will be going to the grand finals.
All right. Well played by our Tunisian player. Coming back with a 3-0 with Hunter. And Seungjae cannot be too happy about that. But, you know, you gotta slow down your plays. You got to really think about every single move in Hearthstone. It's not a very forgiving game.
No, especially if you're playing against brutally efficient decks like Undertaker starts. And what a crushing defeat, honestly, for Seungjae, because he was up 2-0, like you said, with Druid. It felt like even in the 3rd game there was a chance for him to fall into the win here. But in the end, we see the Tunisian player, of all people, to get far and go into top 2. He's in the money now, by the way.
That's right. He's going to win quite a bit of money at this event, and definitely a player to look out for in the future. I think he's actually quite a strong player, and I'd be excited if this leads into him maybe some invites to some tournaments.
Sure.
maybe some decent sponsorship so he can travel a little bit and try out Pro Hearthstone, because he's definitely showing that he has some serious skills.
Well, he's guaranteed at least $3,000. Seungjae will be making an appearance for the third-place match to fight for $2,000 because fourth place goes home empty-handed. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have more action here at IeSF Day 3. It'll be Denmark versus Austria in about 20 minutes. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be back soon.